are here on day 3 of NAB. I got this amazing interview here for you with the Blackmagic studio. I'm going to have this wonderful man introduce himself. So who are you?
My name is Dan May, and I am the president of Blackmagic Design USA.
That's awesome. Okay, so some of the things that I would love to know about your thoughts is how did you get started in Blackmagic?
So I'm essentially employee number 1 in the US. Back when Blackmagic was first starting up, they were a company founded in Australia, and they had started making inroads into the US, but they wanted to basically start a US infrastructure. That's how I got hired, and that was 16 years ago. And in that 16 years, we've come from a long way from being a company that just provides some simple hardware in and outs for computers to a company that provides hardware and software for all kinds of digital video content creation.
Okay, so my big question is, why did Blackmagic, the software side, why would it went from the light to just Blackmagic? Why did you decide as a company to make it free for people for HD solutions and color correction and all that? How did that even come about?
Well, I think there's a couple things that we were thinking about when we first acquired DaVinci Resolve. It was a software hardware combination that used to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. It was really a Hollywood post-production tool. And when we thought about the model that we were looking at, what we kind of reflected to ourselves when we were students and we started getting into digital creation, a lot of us would just have some burned CD of some software that we would use to kind of test the waters of do I want to do photo work? Do I want to do audio work? Do I want to do video work? And that allowed us to kind of test the waters and find out what it is that we wanted to do, and then maybe we would find what our professions could end up being. So when we started looking at that software model, we started thinking about, well, look, having that access to that tool is what got us down the path of being a creator. So let's create a free version so that we can have people step into this and try to figure out what they want to do, and then we'll make, at the time it was $1,000 software, now it's a $300 software, but we wanted people to have the ability to kind of get in and try. But the hard part was we didn't want to make it some limited, timed out 30-day version that limited things. So, at this point, the free version of DaVinci Resolve Day 3 tongue, DaVinci Resolve is largely about multi-user. So if you're a single person that's just trying to get in and figure out, do I want to edit, color grade, audio, effects? I have it all right here, and I have really a full version, so long as I'm not doing a lot of multi-user collaboration, which is one of the single biggest things missing from the free version of Resolve.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, I remember when I was at that $1,000 price point and all of those things over the last decade. I've seen the evolution of Blackmagic, and it's been amazing to see what you guys have done for video creators. So just talking about, I guess, the pocket camera, where do you see the pocket camera going? I know it had very humble beginnings, and I remember it looked like the brick.
The first cinema camera we had, yeah.
That brick, I had a friend who had it, and we went out to Balboa. Or not Balboa, the island, Catalina. We went to Catalina Island. We did some cool cinematic shots.
Yeah.
How to play with the toy. But yeah, so where do you see this pocket camera, especially within education and film CTE programs across the country? A lot of students now really want to go get their own, camera, and honestly, it looks cinematic from this thing. So, where is this little cute, adorable pocket camera going for the future?
Yeah, it's one of those things where one of the tough things for us, I would say, for Blackmagic is we're creating a tool that we expect a Hollywood professional to be able to use, and we're pricing it at something that we want a YouTube student to be able to kind of pick up and start using, and that's a real dilemma to how to make something so professional that can kind of fit that Hollywood elite, but also be so accessible to help kind of empower more people to be creative. So when we look at a pocket camera, we can say, well, look, it's awesome to talk to a film school and find that half of their students have gone out and bought pocket cameras, but then also to see these pocket cameras pop up on productions that are ending up on Netflix or Disney Plus because they're so affordable that, look, maybe a big production in Hollywood might want to go rent a couple high-end cinema cameras, but they also want to get a bunch of pocket cameras because they want to throw them off of cliffs and have explosions. So for them, it's a disposable B or C camera because it matches so well with their high-end digital cinema camera. Meanwhile, students and corporations and everyone else can use these cameras as A cameras because that quality is so high, and it teaches you how to be a proper cinematographer because of all the tools that are included in that package.
I guess the last thing is, because you guys are so innovative in technology, is that where do you see your cameras being used in the VR and AR space?
Yeah, so right now what we see a lot of is things being used where we're doing the virtual set kind of production where, right now that's a limited because of some amounts of costs about being able to kind of build those virtual sets and what the cost is there. But we also see people trying to figure out how to do that for lower costs and using a lot of Blackmagic equipment in there. So being able to use some of the Blackmagic cameras that have higher resolution is a big thing for them to be able to do all the scaling they'd like to do or to create the virtual sets. So it's one of those things where with Blackmagic we're trying to create tools and not necessarily build the house, but it's exciting to see the houses that people are building with the tools that we've provided. That's what makes us excited to see how customers go out and use these once they become available to people and they get them in their hands.
All right, well, that's all I have for you, but thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks so much.